There are few games at this moment in time that have as much excitement surrounding them as Super Smash Bros. Now with Ultimate adding more characters, stages, music and general content than ever before, it's fair to say the hype is real. Now for those of you that don't know, I am a ridiculously huge fan of Smash Bros. I've grown up playing the series since I was a child with the N64, before moving on to Melee, Brawl and so forth. I've attended tournaments around the country, had features published on the topic, and even discovered two of my closest friends through the series. Together, we've easily invested 1,000 hours plus in each iteration of Smash, so when Ultimate was announced, I was a little excited. Don't be Smash. If we see the fire circle. Oh shit. Oh shit. I think this could be Smash. Splatoon coming to Smash. Oh my god, it's Smash Brothers. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's happening! During the final Smash Bros. Direct on the 11th of November, Sakurai-san announced that Incineroar and Ken would be the final fighters to join the Smash roster come launch day. Then from nowhere we got the surprise addition of Piranha Plant as a free character for early adopters. Historically, Smash Bros. Has always enjoyed throwing a curveball into the mix, with Mr. Game and watching Melee, Robin, Brawl and Duck Hunt Dog in Wii U. But what's more tantalising is the announcement that 5 brand new fighters will be arriving in the form of DLC sometime after the release of the game on December 7th. Sakurai has already confirmed that none of these characters will be echoes, and the choices for who gets picked has been ultimately decided by Nintendo, which gives us some ideas of who possibly may have a chance of making it into the roster. Using this information, Smash Bros. History, Nintendo's current relationship with other companies, and looking at what game releases are taking place in 2019, I'm going to talk about 5 characters that I believe actually have a strong chance of being released in the DLC. These are not my personal picks, but ones I believe are likely to make an appearance. On top of that, it's worth mentioning these picks are in no particular order whatsoever. Oh, and even though Little Mac was promoted from an assist trophy to a full-on fighter, for the purpose of this video we are going to exclude any fighters that have been confirmed as an assist trophy. With work already complete turning characters into assists, I can't see the team going back and remedying this. So as much as it breaks my heart, I'm sorry Shadow, Isaac, Waluigi, it's sadly not meant to be. This is 4999 and these are my picks for 5 DLC characters destined for Smash Bros. Ultimate. Nintendo has a ton of games planned for 2019, with Luigi's Mansion 3, Yoshi's Crafted World, and even a new Fire Emblem.
I can't take it anymore! I just want to die!
No, thankfully I'm thinking, / hoping no more Fire Emblem characters get announced. I mean, we have 7 already. No, I'm talking about a series more popular and compared to some series, has little representation within Smash. I'm talking Animal Crossing. With the new Animal Crossing set for release in 2019, what better way to help promote the game and bring in new players by having a new character in Smash Ultimate? Currently we only have 2 Animal Crossing representatives, in Villager and Isabelle, yet the IP is one of Nintendo's most valuable. New Leaf was the last true entry to be released, selling nearly 12 million copies on the 3DS. That's an incredible number and starting to get into Pokemon sales territory. Isabelle is the newest pick, but there are lots of long-term Animal Crossing characters that are just as popular, maybe even more so than the blonde Shih Tzu. Who I think Nintendo would choose is KK Slider. The charismatic white pup has been a main staple of the series since its beginning and is more deserved of a place than ever before. KK has interestingly been added as a Mii Fighter costume in the past, which has happened for a number of characters like Skull Kid and Gino, but Animal Crossing is still current and one of Nintendo's biggest successes. Now there is the fact that KK appears on the Smashville stage between 8 PM and midnight on Saturdays. However, this hasn't stopped other characters from appearing more than once. Look at Chrom for instance. Now making his appearance as a fighter, Chrom has been confirmed to still appear in Robin's final Smash, proving it doesn't matter. With that issue out the way and the fact that Animal Crossing will be wanting heavy promotion in the build up to its newest instalment, couple that with KK's popularity with fans, its prior appearances in the Smash series, and I can see the music loving pooch turning up for a good old fashioned dogfight. In the past, Nintendo has used Smash Bros. As a sort of launchpad to help encourage players to explore other franchises in their locker. I mean, how many of us would know about Fire Emblem if it wasn't for Marth and Roy's appearance in Melee? You then have other examples like Earthbound, F-Zero, etc. The list goes on and on. So with that in mind, I can see an ARMS character making it in. Though Springman has been confirmed as an assist trophy, that doesn't stop other fighters from appearing. Springman may be the poster boy, but he's pretty generic, and compared to what's on offer, I think most would be disappointed if he was chosen over some of the more unique combatants. For a new IP with lots of brand new characters, one figure has stood among all others, and that's Twintel. Her popularity is insane. You don't have to search far to see the amount of artwork or cosplays devoted to her. Using her hair for weapons, she could prove to be one of the most compelling and fun characters ever. I mean, I'm no game designer, but because of her moves already being mapped out in ARMS, transitioning Twintel over to Smash Bros. Surely has to be easier than most.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious, and don't call me Shirley.
Let's not forget that ARMS sold amazingly well. Over 2 million copies is nothing to snuff about, and Nintendo may be even thinking of a follow-up somewhere in Switch's life cycle. What perfect way to keep the series relevant than Twintel in Smash Bros. During the now infamous fake leaks of Smash Bros. Ultimate, there was one claimed insider who managed to predict most of the newcomers. Now you always have to take leakers' information with a pinch of salt, but it is interesting that Verge Burns correctly predicted Ridley, Simon Belmont, Incineroar, Ken, and the fact that no other characters would be cut, including Ice Climber's a Snake. Calling the insider lucky seems unfair at this point. This brings us to one of the few remaining Vergeburn predictions. He claims that there will be a Square Enix character represented in Smash Bros. Now with the Game Awards right around the corner, it makes sense that an announcement for a new fighter will be made there, but who? Geno is the obvious culprit, as Smash fans have been clamouring for him since Melee, and with King K. Rool and Ridley now added, Geno is the last long-standing request. Though I played Super Mario RPG, I've never been a big advocate for Geno. He'd be cool, but I think others are more deserving. Sora from Kingdom Hearts, on the other hand, is a character I would love and fits the mould of what it takes to be a third-party inclusion. More so, Sakurai loves the character and has wanted Sora in for years. However, with Kingdom Hearts 3 not turning up on Switch for the foreseeable future, and Nintendo selecting the fighters, my prediction is going to someone from Dragon Quest. Personally, I don't know much about Dragon Quest. I've never played a game in the series, but I am aware of how huge it is in Japan. Every iteration sells like hotcakes and beats out all other traditional RPGs. That's why I think by including a Dragon Quest representative, the series will have a bigger worldwide appeal. Who do you pick though? Slime may be the most well known from the series, but is a common enemy. And I realise that argument doesn't hold up anymore thanks to No, I think the character that makes it onto the roster is Erdrick. Erdrick is the main protagonist in Dragon Quest III and is heavily mentioned throughout the first two Dragon Quest, leading this trilogy to be known as the Erdrick Trilogy. He's referenced in many of the later games, but is primarily known as the old school representative of Dragon Quest. Incredibly, the third Dragon Quest was released on the NES back in 1988, making Erdrick one of the oldest video game characters in existence. Considering a lot of these characters have already been honoured in Smash, i.e. Game & Watch, Ice Climbers, Duck Hunt, etc., it makes perfect sense for this character to appear alongside the others. I thought long and hard about what characters are likely to turn up as DLC, researching and reading up on anything and everything I could get my hands on, but one pick I knew I didn't have to think about for too long was Rex and Pyro. Protagonists in Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Sakurai spent a long time talking about Rex in the final Smash Direct and why they didn't have enough time to put either in as characters. This is the case for a lot of fighters though, so why spend that much time on these two? Well, Sakurai loves the series and specifically these two characters. Whereas Nintendo will have the final say on the final five, Sakurai definitely has some influence, and you can imagine these two were his first choice. Since first appearing on the Wii, Xenoblade has gone on to be one of Nintendo's most beloved new series, and according to Executive Director Tetsuya Takahashi, Xenoblade 2 exceeded all expectations with sales. Nintendo know how important this series is, and just this year wrapped up 12 months of DLC for Xenoblade 2, meaning Nintendo will want to keep promoting the series, hence Rex and Pyro. If you follow the company's marketing, you'll also have noticed that they have their favourites, which they give a lot more campaign time to than others. Games that fall into this category are Splatoon, ARMS and Xenoblade. Pyro has already been confirmed as a spirit, but I don't think this means anything, as King K. Rool is down as one too. For me, this is more of a when than an if. We come to our final pick, and though Nintendo likes to concentrate on their own IP, we have seen third parties being included in DLC rollouts, thanks to Ryu, Cloud and Bayonetta. That's why I think it's time for the bird and bear to finally make their debut. Yes, Banjo Kazooie. Known for their Nintendo roots, now owned by Microsoft, the duo has all the making of a perfect addition. Though we've seen countless rumours and numerous fake leaks, I still believe the pair have a sizable chance of making it in. Let's start with Nintendo and Microsoft's current relationship. It's solid. For Switch and Xbox One, both companies teamed up for crossplay on Minecraft, including releasing a trailer with each console being shown side by side. Who would have thought this was possible 10 years ago? Now I can hear you all saying, well, what about Minecraft, Steve? Again, I think it's possible, but with the legacy of Banjo Kazooie and a rumoured Banjo 3 somewhere in the works at Microsoft, it just makes more sense for the pair to appear. Saying that, I still think a Minecraft stage is more likely than not. Regardless, let's look at some further evidence. During the DLC plan for Smash Bros. Wii U, Nintendo asked fans to vote on what characters they would like to see included. Pedro Darkinson took this opportunity to tweet at head of Xbox's Phil Spencer, asking whether Banjo had a chance. To the shock of many, Phil replied saying, "I think it would be cool if Banjo was in the next Super Smash Bros. DLC. We've worked with Nintendo on rare IP before, no issues." After years of never thinking this would be possible, the fire was lit. Then to add more fuel to the flame, when Ultimate was announced in March of 2018, @Banjo_EXE asked Phil, again via Twitter, whether Banjo could still appear. The Xbox chief replied with a simple yep. Sure, there's lots of paperwork for one company's character to appear on another, but the precedence has already been set with Minecraft and even the Microsoft published Mark of the Ninja. I'm calling this one now, E3 2019, Banjo 3 announced with Banjo making his debut in Super Smash Bros. Thank you for watching my thoughts on 5 DLC characters destined for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to click that subscribe button or even leave a like. I can be found on Twitter at 4099 where I publish all my video game journalism and talk about Smash Bros. Constantly. Thanks for watching and have a great day.